Versus Bake for Life. We're live again. No mainline Monday today. Unfortunately, I don't have any mainline stuff, but I just found out that TM Reviews just found an Origin Jazz, and he's gonna send me after he's done. So we're gonna have that for mainline Monday at some point. But yeah, we're here with another figure. This is Pangu Toys Mighty Miracle God PTO2. This is their Legend Scale Omega. So in the live poll right now, we have what is your Legend Scale Omega of choice? So we got Pangu, which we're showing here. We got New Age Michael. New Age always a fan favorite with the Legends. And then I totally forgot about the Mech Fans Toys Huge Dragon, which came out a while ago. So let me know in the live poll what you guys want, as well as if you're watching this on the rewind in the comment section. Hey Evil Ash, hey Petrosum, hey Frankie, who else is there? McLuiter G, Robot Show Tune. So I think I got everyone so far. So hey Mariano, let's go ahead and get started. So the packaging, there's nothing to talk about. It's just a box. It did come in a nice cardboard shipper though, which is always nice. Hey Lo, how's it going? But nothing really too exciting about the packaging. When you get them out of packaging, you get these ghetto instructions. They're just two big sheets of paper that are folded up. And they're double-sided. They're colored, though, and they're nice and big, which is nice. But he is a pretty simple transformation, and if you guys have messed with DX9 Gabriel, this literally is a downsized KO. Hey, Slow DK. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's only a handful of very small changes that were made. He does come with some accessories. So real quick, he does have this face, alternate face, the kind of yelling face, I guess. Show you that real quick. It's just easy to pop on and pop off. He also had this sprue or runner of blast effects, which is nice. You got this big kind of shield blast looking one, a little mini one here, a little pew pew icicle looks like basically. Hey Ridiculous, yeah, thanks for the reminder folks to give a thumbs up. And then this little piece, you're probably like, what is this? This is actually an adapter piece. You need this to make use of all of these. I don't know why they just didn't mold all of them to work, like to have a big port instead of a peg. Like why do this and then create an adapter piece? Why don't you just make them all have a big port? But I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason for it. We'll put these off to the side for now. And he comes with one other accessory that's actually in the packaging. So once you would open it up, you get Mighty Miracle God, aka Omega, in his robot mode. His arms do come separately. And then his wings or tracks come separately, and then he also has this little dude, this little drone dude. I honestly don't even remember him. I'm not even gonna try to pretend, and I didn't feel like googling him. But this looks like, and I'm not sure, but I think this is a downsized KO of the drone or robot that came with Wei Zhang's Ultimate Guard. But somebody can correct me. I didn't have that figure. That's one of the masterpiece scaled Omegas that I didn't have. I did have Fans Toys and I did have Gabriel, which I'll show off in comparison. And this gun is actually separate. He comes with this packaged in his hand already, but it is pegged on. But yeah, let's see. Oh, he's the doctor. Thanks, Wild Bill. Good to see you again. So very quickly, let's just get him in full robot mode. So he works a little bit differently in that he doesn't have, so if you guys remember Gabriel, he had kind of like a spring-loaded locking mechanism in his bicep. But what happens is, in this one, you just slide this on. Make sure you get the elbow joint correct. And you just slide it on. There's no spring-loaded mechanism that locks it into place, but it holds in just as fine. Same thing on this side. Just remember to have it so that the elbow is bending the correct way, because it only bends one way. And then on the back, you just lift up his backpack. You have these, which are slightly different, if you recall, and we'll show it off when we bring in DX Gabriel. Gabriel didn't have these fully extended. They had pieces that would fold in on themselves to make them a little bit more compact and not as unwieldy. You'll see just how it's like a quarter of a circle here, obviously. These peg in with two pegs there, and then the backpack comes down and pegs in as well. The funny thing is there's no alternating pegs on here. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Gabriel actually had pegs that came onto the other side and pegged it in. This one does not, so it only relies on the front pegs. But with that, you have Mighty Miracle God, MMG. We'll just call him MMG for short. Hey, TM, we were just talking about you. All good things, all good things. I was just talking about how you're going to hook me up with an Origin Jazz, so thank you for that. But yeah, he is literally a downsized Gabriel in sculpt. We'll do a quick 360 of him before we go into the review, but he does look quite nice. DX9 Gabriel is my Omega in my collection. I've had him forever. I got rid of my Fans Toys one basically immediately once I got Gabriel. Much simpler, much more satisfying transformation, I would say. Definitely not perfect, but he is my favorite Omega for sure. And again, we'll do a quick 360 of this little guy, the Doctor, with a donut or life preserver for her. Oh, hey, Princeton, thanks a lot for the $1. Appreciate it. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Answer a question, but it's not $1.99, so you get no comparison. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, but he looks really good. There's a couple things right out of the box that I noticed that I don't like about him. The main thing is his hips. They're really poorly tolerance, and you can see they just flop around, and it's not even just because the legs are heavy, they're just really loose. So I don't know if there's a good way to tighten them up. I haven't looked into it. One of the questions was, does he feel solid? Overall, he feels solid, but there are a couple parts though. This was what I was just about to talk about, like this hip skirt piece. Like you can see it flexing very easily. That's very thin, feels very delicate there, but the rest of them feels really solid. Just that one piece. The tracks feel solid. The elbows feel solid. And he does have... They advertised early on that... Hey, Clinical, how's it going? They advertised early on that... yeah, see it just like bending his hip skirt down on the side. Did you guys see that? Like, so I was just bending this down. And you can see it flexing. So that's not good. But they were advertising that I made the $1 and... Yes, I made the $1 and $1.99 mistake. It's okay. I'll forgive you because you're such a great supporter. Thanks. Comparison with DX9 Gabriel. Haha. The joke's on you. I was gonna do that for free anyway. Anyway, so let's see the 90. Thanks, Princeton. The one thing that they did say early on was that he was going to have LEDs on both of his hands. He actually doesn't. He only has it on the pew pew hand, not the swoosh hand. But he does have sounds and lights on, and they come with batteries pre-installed. So I don't even know what batteries they had. I didn't even bother looking since it comes pre-installed. But let's go ahead and press this. So I'm guessing that's Mandarin. So you get Mandarin Omega voice, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I guess it's better than nothing, right? But he doesn't have one in his fist. Some other small details, like I said, the wings, we'll show that off in a bit. But let's do some articulation first, just because we have him before I get all this big guy out. So actually, let's start with little guy first. So he has a head swivel. He is nicely painted. His eyes are nice and blue, gray face. His shoulders go all the way around. There's a little pin shoulder there. He's got a single jointed elbow bend and no articulation in the hands. He does have a 360 waist swivel and ball jointed hips. So let him go way up here. Sorry. They're clearly more focused on Mighty Miracle God, which I should be as well, but I wanted to show this. And then he has a single knee bend, which goes 90, and then a ball pegged foot, which goes around. So quite nice. I like him. He does have, like I said, the little pew pew gun, which is tiny and molded and pegs in to his fist. And yeah, it's nice to have. A nice little accessory. I was thinking that maybe you can peg these onto the blaster as well, because these are really small. I don't know why you would want such small effects, but they do not fit because this is a peg and there's no hole here. And then even with the adapter, it's a larger hole. So kind of sad that they didn't do anything with that. All right. Get him off this side. Coming with Mighty Miracle God. His head. Oh, you can actually extend the neck like DX9 Gabriel's as well. So he can look down a little bit. He can look up a little bit. He can look around a lot. His little blaster turret cannon thingy, whatever it's called, can move up and down. His mask can also flip up, but you can't flip it up too much because it pops right off like that. It is frictioned on, but I wish they had done a better job of this, especially because you need to move the mask up to get the face off. It's really hard to do, so you basically have to take off this to try to get the face off. And I'm going to see if I can actually get it off, but it is kind of difficult. The easiest way probably is to pull up on this little antenna piece, which you turn to get it rotated around for the alt mode or base mode. But even then, it's kind of hard to get access to. Yeah, see, I might not be able to even pry it off. Oh, this side is a little bit, there we go. There we go. So you just need to get it started. Oh, well, he just popped off. All right, face off. A classic Nick Cage movie. All right, and then you just, Face Off 2. The sequel that never happened. And then you can pop this one on. You just gotta sneak it in there and push it back, and then you can get the visor on. There we go. All right, let's continue on with articulation. He does have friction joints for shoulders. Obviously, he runs into the wings in the back. Friction going out that way. Friction bicep swivel. Friction elbow bend, 90 degrees. I don't think he has any wrist. Oh, he does. You can actually extend this. I didn't even know that. Oh, you can take this whole thing off. I didn't know that. And that's where you put the batteries in. So yeah, I guess you can, if you want, you can kind of hide the button, but then you get the screws. So whichever, pick your poison. On this side, same thing. On the DX9 one, it's ratcheted, but this is just a big peg. And on the DX9 one, they had more points of articulation. This is just one big claw, one single molded piece. Come to the waist, he does swivel 360. His hip skirts go up to the side and to the back. You can go up forward, but again, he has kind of weak hips. He's getting up there in age. He might need some hip replacement surgery, like some grandmas and grandpas out there. Yeah, most of it's not loose. It's just the hips. I talked about that early on, so you might have missed it. But right out of box, that's what I talked about. And then I also talked about the flexing on this hip skirt piece. Only this piece, the panel, for some reason, feels very weak. He does have a hidden thigh swivel. He gets a little bit. He gets, oh, sorry. He does get a nice knee bend, 90 degrees. It does have some piston details that are exposed once you get it out. He has double hinged ankles, but they are pretty loose. But you do have them. And then you have this, which is for transformation, but I guess you can think of it as heel articulation. He doesn't have any up or down with the toe. So I think I got all the pieces of articulation. He does look quite good, so let's go ahead and compare him to his father. Give me a second. He is quite big. And I don't know if my review area will actually house all of him, but I think we can get him fit in at least. Ugh. Yeah, his head is hitting the roof. All right, sorry about that. Let's see. But yeah, he's literally the same. All the molded details you can see, like on the chest, even the translucent pieces. Like they must have like stolen the design, or the design must have got leaked, and they literally just did transform, scale down, and that was pretty much it. There are some places where they made some design choices for pegging and stuff like that. But yeah, very, very much the same. Oh yeah, I can't even go any higher. Well, no, that's not true. That's a lie. So you can see them up there. The wings are really the only part that is kind of different. As I mentioned, it's kind of hard to see. But you see his wings are kind of not a whole quarter of a circle. while his are, and then you can see the tracks that go out. You could actually do this with Gabriel. You could fold out the hidden pieces to make him larger, but I would have to take off the backpack to do that. But yeah, he's down to... No, I don't want freehand because my gimbal is on right now. So I guess I need to do something. Hold on, give me a second. Let me freehand it for a second. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, this is one of the scenes where you're like, don't ever talk to me or my son ever again kind of deal. Like even the smallest details, you'll find that they basically copied everywhere. Even the molded details, essentially. But yeah, I don't mind that in the sense that obviously I like DX9 Gabriel's, that's mine. But obviously I also don't really want to say, go ahead and just support this company that stole this design or whatever. Oh, no. No. Yeah, see, my gimbal went crazy. Thanks, T-Man. Because of you. Alright, so let's get this guy out of the way. And then we'll get into the review of the transformation. Ugh. So the build quality overall, as I mentioned, is pretty good. It's just that one set of plastic on the hips. This part here that flexes very easily. And again, just the tolerances in the hips. I haven't opened it up. I'm not like as adventurous as TM, who does homework and sees if he can tighten stuff up. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the transformation. He's very simple, but he's very fun. All right, so I'm going to scooch him down. Oh, actually, we'll just keep going like this. So the first thing you need to do is, well, let's actually just take care of the treads first. We'll take care of the treads, take these off. We'll basically go in reverse of what we did out of box. Take off the arms. They're just slotted on. So get those out the way. Now we're going to remove the upper body torso section, and then we'll deal with the legs afterwards. So you just pull up on this, pull out on the shoulders, and then just pull up on the main body. So we'll deal with the tank later. You just hang out there. This, you rotate in like so, like this, and then you can close this down for now. This is going to close forward. You'll see these pegs here that go here. Those are slightly different. Like, for example, the DX9 one had like kind of those friction things that we saw in the YOLO Park that they used a lot of. You want to go ahead and deal with these, the backpack. So fold this up and then fold it down at the higher hinge here to get this kind of sitting flush on the back. The legs, we're going to go pull down, which is a slight difference. On DX9 Gabriel, you put it up and slid it down. This one, you start down and push it up, but very minor detail, small detail. You want to open this up. I actually realized that they assembled mine, or assembled this one backwards, because well, actually, maybe not. Maybe these details are supposed to be, these little horizontal details are supposed to be on the opening. But I think it would look better instead of having these little injection molding remnants. So pull down on this, open this up. Come on. And then these are going to peg in eventually into these slots in the back. They kind of hook in like so, but we'll get to that in a bit. All right, the legs are where it gets kind of cool. Let me scooch down a bit. The legs are where it gets kind of cool. You open up each of the legs. You rotate them at the ankle. You pull up on the heel and then rotate the heel like so. Let's see. Oh, you want to bring out this section here, and it's an over and under tab. You want to split that like so. Oh, sorry, this way. And then basically you want it to be like this, so that the toe is going to be sitting correctly flat-footed on the ground. And then come in here. There's a couple things you want to do. You can fold this little tab in. I'm going to pull up on this. And this slides up on a double hinge and connects to make part of the track or base. Same thing on this side. Pull this out and down. This is all exactly the same as DX9 Gabriel. So this is how it's going to look for one side, and then we're going to do the other side. So same thing on this side here. Open up the calves, rotate it, get the heel opened, rotate this around, like so. Oh, and fold these up if I didn't already. This piece that comes out of the leg, over under tab, push it up like so. And then when you have these together, those over and under tabs are keyed in to the opposite side, so that when you put them together like this, they hold together and stabilize the whole section, which is pretty clever. Again, don't forget to fold this little peg in, or you might not sit evenly on the floor or your table. Pull up on this, double hinge this out. Ow, that hurts. And these little tabs kind of slot in to hold it all securely in place. All right. And then lastly, just make sure that everything is positioned this way so that these butt flaps with the slots here are facing out. Again, these are kind of a hooky tab. So you want to hook these on like so, and then do like that. Same thing here. Hook it on like so. And that's basically the base. Let's see here. TM says looking kind of cheap. Well, it is much cheaper than Michael, that's for sure. I think this is sub 100, I want to say. So you just flip these pieces out. This is slightly different again than the DX9 wings, in that it doesn't have a separate piece. Fold in this little tab that holds these two together. And then with these two tab sections, you put it just under the legs here. Same thing on this side. Split this open. Like so. We'll have the base, the rocket. You just want to collapse these in. And then you have alternating pegs and peg holes. So just get those lined up. These do open really quickly. Sorry, I should show this off, but they both have ramps. I don't really know why this one has a ramp, but it does. And then you can slide this out. I don't know why it has this, but I think it's just because it's using the same mold here. Same thing on this side. This side makes more sense. It's much easier to get something in the slot here and pull it out. Fold this out. And again, tab these in opposite directions. And there's your base. You can get it pointier, taller, or squatter, however you'd like. We'll just put it over here in the gantry. And now we just have to deal with the tank. So the tank, let me remember how to do this one. Oh, first thing we'll do is kind of bring this tab out, bring this up. We want to open this. They have two tabs that go on the side. Release this and bring that straight up. These are going to rotate around and tab in here. Come on. Why isn't this side tabbing in? Oh, there we go. Okay. Then from here, you want to open up these side pieces as well as these pieces. This one is very important to note that there's two sets of hinges here. So when you open it up, you need to bend it at the outer hinge to get it positioned correctly. So right now, you can see it's using the inner hinge. Make sure you extend it and get it to the outer hinge. And then before you flip these other pieces in, you want to come here, grab right here, and then pull forward. These treads kind of auto transform with it. You can fold this down. And again, these just kind of float. They do have a slight tab that sort of holds it in place. That's one of the weaker designs that came from DX9 here. And then you fold this in to tab that in, and you have some wheels at the bottom to get it to roll. As we did before, you can flip the face around using this tab to get the kind of Teletran-esque looking computer. I always find it easier to get a little bit of help because this thing is so tiny, it's hard to turn, get enough leverage to turn around. Yeah, this is also one of the cheapo pieces. Fold that down, and then you can rotate the turret. Lastly, you can pull out the cannons on the sides with these little slots, like so. And oh, sorry, I forgot about this piece. This piece kind of also stabilizes the back. You just tab this in. Yep. All these things falling apart kind of reinforce TM's opinion that it is kind of cheapo. All right, and there we go. We have 170 is a pretty good price for New Age Michael, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah. But yeah, this one does look exactly the same as DX9 Gabriel. It doesn't have any motorized functions or anything like that. This piece fell off again. That what's it called is featuring. New Age is featuring. But if you don't want to drop more for a Legend scaled Omega than I did for my full size Gabriel, this might be an option for you. Or if he's a character that you want, but you don't need to spend close to 200 on it for a Legend skill character, you can always have this as an alternative, or the Mech Fans Toys one. So a couple things to note in this mode is that they did simplify a couple of things. Like this cannon used to rotate up and down on the Gabriel. You cannot do that there. That was really the only main difference I saw in this mode. He does have wheels, but they're not all that great for rolling. They're kind of frictioned a little tightly for my liking. But again, you're not really going to be rolling this around. This is more for display options. Again, it would have been nice if they had followed through with the LED here, so you can do kind of like a blast off effect with some lights and some sounds maybe. But they did not do that, which is unfortunate. I'm not going to obviously compare DX9 Gabriel in alt mode for this because that would take a while. So give me a second to see if anybody has any questions that they dropped in the chat while I was doing the transformation and so forth. Let's see here. Questions. All right, so we do have a couple of questions. Move this out of the way so I can see the questions. All right, the Titan says, I might have missed it. How tall is he? Oh, let me measure him when he gets back into robot mode. Princeton asks, are you going to get the New Age Omega Supreme or the Legends Metroplex that's coming out? I'm not a Legends collector. And again, Toy Dojo was nice enough to send this over to me. Do you have Siege Omega Supreme to compare it to? I do not have a Supreme Omega Supreme from Siege, unfortunately. And then Stuck in Chicago, who I don't know if I've seen before, says, is 1-to-1 with DX9 just scaled down? Yep, pretty much. Again, they did some obvious engineering tabbing changes to accommodate the smaller form factor, but basically is some minor simplification as you might expect for something of this size. But overall, still very good. I still like it. Again, it's not mine. I'm not going to keep it. I'm not trying to get into Legends at all. So, sorry, it looks like some people left some comments. Yes. Oh, thanks, Polaris. I appreciate it. He says, great review. You're the man. Sometimes you got to spend the extra money or you'll be miserable with lackluster quality. Yeah, that's true, too. Like, some people say, like, what was the quote? Buy right or buy nice or buy twice. So that might be the way to go. And again, it really probably depends on what your budget is. I do like that you have a cheaper option. And I like the look of this a lot. But I think New Age does look overall better and obviously has more features. But especially with the overall paint, because there's a lot of paint on this itself. You can see the silver, yellow, red, and so forth. But DX9, I think, is the New Age one. I think is basically fully painted, like the most of their other figures. So you definitely are getting more out of it for your money. It just depends on what you value and so forth. All right, so let me go ahead and get this transformed back. Oh, is there anything I can compare him to? Oh, sorry, I should bring this guy out just so you can see how he scales. Obviously, doesn't really scale all that well. Here he is with Bumblebee and Streak. They're doing a train. They're not running a train. They're just doing a train. Let's see here. Oh, I don't even think I showed that you could. I talked about the blast effects and I didn't even show them off. So, how does this work? What happened? Oh, did I have to plug this in backwards? Oh, sorry, I plugged it in backwards. So yeah, you got to put the smaller end into the tip here. Same, so you got to keep this adapter piece for, oh, actually this one, I don't even know how this one works. This one is so small that I don't even know where it's supposed to fit. Huh, that is interesting. This one doesn't work with the adapter piece. I just kind of assumed it did because both of the other ones did. But this one, I don't know how you're supposed to use this one. Here? No? Oh, can you use these on these? Possibly. I don't know because they keep coming in here. I don't know. You might be able to force these in, but I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to use this piece for then, because this peg is super tiny. All right, but if somebody else knows, let me know. Doesn't it plug into the wide blast effect top? Oh, yeah, you might be right. No, it does not. Oh, you can do a triple. You can do a triple combined one. Ah, you guys are so genius. Oh, you guys are so genius. So yeah, I guess you can. Well, no, I don't know. This one doesn't seem like it wants to go in here. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it wants to go into this hole. Were you too good for your home? I think ideally it's supposed to fit in here, but maybe you have to put it in at a certain angle. But I'm having zero luck getting this in the hole. I do say that quite a bit to my wife, but usually not in front of the camera. Okay, well, we're not gonna figure it out here today, obviously. Oh well, hold on. Look at the bottom. It is a circle with a flat end. Is there a flat end here? It looks like maybe this way. I don't think this is working. This is whack. Don't use this one. Get rid of it. Just use these two and you'll be fine. Again, you're paying like $80. No complaints. And again, you get Chinese effects. All right, so let's get this guy transformed back and finish off the review. All right, let's go ahead and fold this up. Fold this up. Going like so. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. You want to separate this. You have to keep the door open so you can actually reach in here. And that's also probably why they had this. So you can reach in. I wasn't thinking about that earlier. All right. So these are the two arms. We're going to keep these off to the side for now. Let's go ahead and deal with the... Oh, no, we're going to deal with this later. Let's get the treads. They just unpeg. They're easy, so let's deal with these. Remember to fold out the little peg here. Fold them in half. Peg these in. See, I didn't even do it for this side. There we go. We got the two wings. Let's deal with the legs. First thing I'll do is come underneath and split these over and under tabs so I can deal with each of the legs one by one. We'll combine these, and then this will go into this slot here by pulling this down. You're going to want to lift this heel up, untab it, rotate it 180, rotate this around, and then tab this heel into the bottom of the foot. These pieces, remember to fold out that little peg. These pieces basically just rock or kind of a angle, like rotate up, and then come in like so. Same thing on this side. They kind of rotate up and in. And then make sure that this peg that we talked about getting out earlier pegs in here. And we get one of the butt pieces that we pull off, close up, and it has these two halves have to come together straight, and you'll see that there's a slotting mechanism. So you need to put it on below where it needs to sit and then push up to lock that in. So that's one leg. Do the same thing on the other side. Let's go ahead and close this tab up, fold that down, open up the heel, rotate the whole toe and heel. Get like this. There's a couple of pegs that peg into the bottom of the foot. Rotate these pieces once again to collapse in on itself. I thought this mechanism was pretty cool when I first saw it with DX9. Fold out this peg. Peg into two halves. Fold up the ramp on his shin. Slot these to get in and ride it up. We're going to fold the hip skirts down. Open the backpack. Untab at the waist. Oh, sorry. Let me scooch up a bit. Open up these sections. Open up the arms. Rotate these down. And now we're ready for the wings. The wings, we just use these two tabs as we did at the very beginning of the review to peg these in. Close this up. So that's most of the bot. Stay. Stay. Good mighty God. Mighty miracle God. All right, this one, we'll fold this up. Push these cannons back. Open this section, open this section. Untab here, fold this down. Open these flaps. Collapse this in. All right, here we have this mechanism on the front. You just push it in, and again, the treads auto-transform. They should sit kind of almost flush or at a right angle to the bottom now. We're gonna fold, oh, now we gotta fold this whole backpack section down and back. These pieces will rotate in. There are tabs on either side that correspond to slots there and there. Oh, dang it, sorry. I forgot to rotate these in. So remember to use the inner hinge this time when you fold these up, not the outer hinge. Sorry about that. There we go. There we go. Rotate the head around. Open up or take off, more likely, the face mask. Come on. Try to rotate the head around with this little tab if you can. I just push it. There we go. And of course, this piece fell off again. There we go. Get the neck extended if you want. And then this piece will use a couple of pegs, these front pegs here, and a couple of small tabs here to slot in. Come on. What's going on here? There we go. Sorry, didn't have it lined up correctly. Give it a quick squeeze. Fold these in, and then these tabs here will tab in here and here to lock in the upper bodies and shoulders. And then we'll just finish off with the arms. Remember to come in from the inside of the bicep. Did I say bicep with a T at the end? Bicep. Get these in. Come on. There we go. And with that, we have Mighty Miracle God back in his robot mode. Somebody did ask for a height measurement, so give me a second. Let me get a measuring tool of some sort. So to the top of the head, he's about 10.5 inches, maybe a little bit less. If you're talking about the wings, to the top of the wings, he's about 10 7/8 inches. I don't know what that is in metric. We're in America here, so we don't do metric. But yeah, I do want to figure out why I can't get this slotted in. I mean, it does seem like it's keyed because there is a flat end, but I can't get it in. Like it doesn't seem to want to work at all. Or yeah, even if I take this out. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with this. If somebody else has better luck, or if somebody else was more successful than me, go watch their review, because clearly I'm not successful with this. But yeah, that's really it for the review. I'll check one more time to see if we have any questions. Hopefully I didn't miss any donations. I have been doing a running tally and trying to recognize folks for the donations. If you guys watched the Chatterday that happened this last week, I did recognize everyone who donated in 2023 thus far. I'll be doing it monthly since I do Chatterday monthly, except the top 3 ongoing donations, the highest donations for the entire year. I'm going to keep that up every month just to recognize those. Apparently now it's actually turning into kind of a donation arm race. So we're going to close out the poll, which was, which Legends Omega are you getting? Let me end that. And the results are New Age Michael with a whopping 68%. We have Pangu coming in second with 28%. And then Huge Dragon with 2%. And that only equals 98%. I don't understand how hard it is to do math. I guess just because of the weird rounding. Viagra is your solution. Thank you. I appreciate that recommendation. But yeah, overall, I still like this figure quite a bit. I think like 80 or 90. How much is this for Toy Dojo? Give me a second. Let me actually fact check this. It's $85 at Toy Dojo. If you have other retailers that you want to get it from, you might be able to get it cheaper. But for 80 bucks, I think this is a pretty good value overall, depending on what your needs are for a Legend Scaled Omega. I think he looks great. Again, he's still my favorite looking. Gabriel is still my favorite looking of all the Masterpiece Scaled Omegas. And I do think parts of this look better than the New Age, but then I think New Age's finish and other features are much nicer. So do you want to pay over 2 times the amount for the New Age Michael? Maybe that's going to be really up to you, but I'm glad that we have a cheaper alternative, because I've said it before and people keep saying it. New Age prices are getting kind of ridiculous, and not just with the US retailers, even the Asian retailers. Like I can't justify spending $180, $170 for a Omega, Legend Scaled Omega. That just doesn't work for me. But again, if it works for you, that's great. Hopefully I answered everyone's questions. If I didn't, let me know in the comment section below. You guys didn't drop it in the Q&A, so that's not what, so I wasn't able to see that. Lowell says, I don't need all the bells and whistles that is in NA. This guy's $55 on Bomb Busby? But it has to be, no, they do shipping separately. So, right? I'm pretty sure Bomb Busby does. Yeah, as I said, my final thoughts are I really do like him. My major complaints are just with this part here and this weak hip skirt area here. I guess you're not going to use this hip skirt area all that much, but I just don't know why this feels so much weaker than the rest of the plastic. The rest of the plastic feels solid. Oh, and also the mechanism for the face mask. This just falls off way too easily, personally. But again, for 80 bucks, I definitely am not complaining. He still looks really great. And I do like the fact that you get a little doctor with him, add to your playability of your display. And he does have his Chinese LED lights and sounds. So that's gonna be it for today, everyone. Hope paid $69 including shipping. Yeah, that's a great price then. Like even so, you save 15 bucks going overseas. If so, that's even more reason if you want this guy, you could probably get him cheaper overseas if you want to do that. But again, obviously, I want to shout out Toy Dojo because I wouldn't be able to do this review without them. They sent this over to me for free, and it will definitely be going back to them. But if you guys have any questions or comments watching this on the rewind, let me know in the comment section. Let me know what you think of DX9. I keep saying DX9 Gabriel. Pangu, Mighty Miracle God. That's such a dumb name. MMG. In the comment section below, whether you think he's worth the price, the cheapo price, or if you want to upgrade to New Age Michael. I will not be back tomorrow because, as I mentioned, I'm going to be at the Washington Capitals hockey game with my company. We got a suite there, so I won't be back tomorrow, unfortunately. But I still have a ton of stuff that I need to do. So I finally got my MP Trailbreaker. I finally got an MP Nightbird. And I finally got my MP Skyfire. So those three will be coming up. I also got my Imagination Works Luffy from One Piece, which I'll definitely will be doing a review on, and some other stuff that is coming. So I still have a couple of things that are coming from overseas, like the Mega Tank and the Shockwave from Bumblebee movie. So those will be coming, and I'll be doing those. So yeah, a lot more to come. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the pace we're keeping up with here. I counted, and including today's review, I've uploaded 6 videos in the last 3 days, including 1 short, 1 toy hunt, and I think 4 reviews. So we're keeping it. Oh no, 1 short, 1 toy hunt, 1 chatter day, and 3 reviews to make 6. So that's 2 in 1 day, essentially averaging 2 in 1 day, and we're gonna keep up the pace. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks to everyone who participated. As always, give it a like, share, and subscribe if you like what we're doing here. And we'll be back again later this week. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a good one.